Hi guys,
and welcome back to our channel. Today is such a great topic. I love this topic so much. We're going to be talking about how to approach your traditional parents on a multicultural relationship if you have one, and how to get them to agree. And we're going to talk a little bit about our experience and how-to steps on getting them to agree.
Well, before we begin today's video, I just want to say we're so sorry we took so long to upload. Me, Iman, we had COVID. So I had COVID, and then 5-6 days later,
I got COVID.
So that obviously extended our time. So sorry about that, but we're back now. We'll hopefully be regularly posting more videos.
Yeah. So just a disclaimer, guys, we do not condone any disrespect or bad behavior towards any parent. So if you're going to use our steps to approach a parent, please do it in the most sensitive and great way.
Yeah. And again, this is just a blueprint that we used. It might not work for you, so just take it with a pinch of salt.
Before you approach your parents, you need to show that you have a strong relationship. That means showing that you're united and you are unwavering in your decision to choose each other. So that means having good confidence and trust in each other.
Step 2, you need to discuss your differences. Now, whether that's religion, culture, traditions, anything that sets you apart from your partner. So this is a sensitive topic for a lot of parents. Usually parents disagree with the relationship because of the culture or religion. So what you need to do is find a common ground. So in our instance, me and Iman are both Muslims. So we both can say that we follow the same prophet, which is Muhammad alayhi salam, follow the same God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we still pray our 5 daily prayers. Now, of course, there will be differences depending on what school or what teachings you follow. But as long as you have the same fundamentals, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. So how do you prove that they're correct? As long as they are backed by a strong hadith, or they have, follow the Quran, you shouldn't have too much problem. Of course, there will be differences. I mean, look at us. Iman is Lebanese, Canadian, and I'm British Bengali. There will be differences. But that's what makes a relationship so much more fun and interesting. But as long as you can discuss what's important to you, again, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. The final part of step 2 is very important, and is sometimes neglected at times, which is how to raise a child. Raising a child is difficult as it is, but if you have differences between parents, it's going to get way tougher. Culture can be a factor when it comes to raising a child, and maybe religion. You need to discuss these things. So one of the early challenges that me and Iman faced was actually shaving the head. I know it's a weird topic, but for me, shaving the head was very important. For Iman, it wasn't that much of a big issue. But Celine actually came out with nice hair, and I was the one that wanted to get rid of it. That's the sad part. But it was really important to me. Whereas for Iman, it was a struggle because she was seeing this beautiful hair and it was all going away. I mean, that's really important for me, but Iman made that step or that sacrifice and was able to move on from there. Situations like this will always keep coming up, and it's really important that you guys are on the same page and discuss it out.
And don't forget, guys, even when you marry someone from the same culture or in the same religion, you will have arguments. Even the same arguments as people who are from different cultures.
Mm-hmm. And most importantly, it doesn't matter how little or how big the difference is, always discuss it.
Right.
Very important. You shouldn't discuss your differences in terms of religion or culture in just a matter of a few days or a few months. Take your time. Make sure everything is covered. Don't leave anything behind, no matter how small or how big it is.
So step number 3 is understanding where your parents are coming from, what their point of views are, why are they so against it, what are their concerns. It's really important to kind of look at it from their perspective. What is it that's bothering them about it? So that way you can go into the conversation with them and kind of discuss it from their perspective and bring them some sort of peace about the situation.
You need to see it from both sides. You can't just say that your side is correct and your parents' side is incorrect. It's not really fair on them.
Now, you do have religion on your side, that there is nothing that stops you from marrying someone from a different culture. Mm-hmm. But it is about keeping all parties as happy as possible. So a potential concern of your parents, and a lot of parents, is that how will it look in the community? That's something that a lot of parents talk about and are concerned about. Mm-hmm. It's not the best argument from them, but it is important to them. So how do we make them feel better about how their relationship will show in the community. The
Mhm.
best thing to do is go on your Instagram, go on your Facebook, and look for people in the community who have married outside the culture and show them how successful it can be.
So in our case, for the man, it wasn't difficult. Her parents were quite open to a different culture, whereas with mine, it wasn't so easy, let's just say. So what I did is find a common ground, and which is religion. We're both Muslims, so I used that as a foundation to persuade my parents to say that this marriage is permissible. So when it comes to religion, you guys need to use every way possible, whether it's contacting the sheikh, using hadith, using the Quran, anything that can prove that your religion is permissible, use it. So I used all three methods that I explained about: hadith, Quran, and even getting a sheikh involved.
And a friend.
And even a friend. Until I got the sheikh involved, and the sheikh actually spoke to us directly. Well, not directly, but on the phone. It was also recorded. The sheikh actually said that this marriage is completely permissible. They're completely fine. There's nothing wrong with her or me. There shouldn't be anything stopping us. This is just a bonus tip, and this is something that helped me a lot. It's up to you if whether you want to implement it or not. And that's helping my parents know what my preference is, which is marrying outside the culture.
So he did that from very young. So when he was interested in marriage, he made sure to kind of drop hints here and there with his parents that he wants to marry outside the culture and not so much a Bengali individual. So it wasn't a surprise for his parents when he said, hey, I'm actually being serious. I'm not joking around. So that kind of helped his situation. And kind of the same thing with me. Unconsciously, I've always been open to other cultures. I've never wanted to just marry someone from Lebanese culture. So my parents knew that about me. And they were, at first, when I was young, very closed about it. But over time and over the years, they become so much more open. So give your parents a chance to warm up to the idea. So you can't just go in with guns blazing, hot-headed. You have to come in with peace in mind and making sure that, you know, your parents still feel respected and their opinion still matters. Step 4 is repeat step 2, because new things are going to come up during the time that you're introducing your partner to your parents. So it's really important to discuss any new differences that come up between the two of you. Now, can you approach your parents? Are they approachable people? I think that's a really good question to ask yourself. Are they kind of hot-headed people? And do you feel uncomfortable going by yourself to approach them? So I think what's really important is to bring an individual that they trust and they trust their opinion. So that could be a sheikh or a friend like Ahmad did. And you have them talk to them on the phone or have a face-to-face. It's really important to have someone with you to make you feel calm as well, so you don't become hot-headed and start yelling and going crazy. So have someone there to kind of have your back and have your parents just feel a little more comfortable about the situation.
This could also be a family member.
Right, could be a family member.
Your cousin or anyone really.
So guys, just take your time with this. It's a really hard thing and I know how it feels. You're so in love and you just want to be with this person. Just take your time. Give your parents a chance to come to you and to kind of warm up to the idea. You know, stay in contact with your partner. Keep your relationship strong. Talk to your friends a lot about it. Just, you know, you guys got this. So if you guys have any questions or you guys are going through something like this and you need some help, you know, just some support from us, you guys can definitely DM us and we'll be there for you as much as we can, give you some sort of pointers or, you know.
And when the man says take your time, don't expect it to be resolved in one day or a week. These things take time. I mean, you're going through a change and your parents are going through a change as well. So expect it to take a few months, even half a year, even a year.
Right. And of course, you don't want to take too long, like take 5 years and still nothing's happened between you and your partner. You still haven't gotten married because of your parents, you know. Just give it all you've got.
And another thing is, like, you can't please everyone, like your cousin's cousins or your uncle's uncles, and just focus on your parents, just your parents. As long as your parents are on board, you have nothing to worry about.
Nothing will stop you.
Exactly.
So before we started filming, I asked you guys on Instagram if you guys have any questions for us. And so we just have a couple of them we're going to answer for you right now.
How do you diminish the aspect of racism they may have towards him?
Wow.
It's a very strong question, very powerful. Do you want to answer?
Racism, it's a big thing in our culture, as whether it's Bengali, whether it's Lebanese. There's always racism in every culture. So how do you diminish any racism that your parents might have towards your partner? It's
I'll say religion.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say religion. I mean,
religion is not racist.
religion is definitely not racist. I mean, in the Abrahamic religion, there's no such thing as racism. Like Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they don't have black or white. It's delivered to everyone. Whoever accepts the words of God, the word of God, especially Islam. Islam, it traveled throughout Asia, Arab, to the east, to the west. So it's not something that it's restricted to that culture. It's open for all. So for racism, I'll say use the religion card.
Okay, so the next two questions are about in-laws, and I'm not surprised because, you know, dealing with difficult in-laws is very hard. Honestly, most of the time, problems arise with in-laws when you're living with them. So I highly suggest kind of moving away. I know sometimes it's very difficult because, you know, financially it's you don't have that option, but there has to be a way for you guys to create some space, maybe create different wings in the house. If you guys have a bigger house, have some people live downstairs, upstairs. It's creating a space between each other. And so when you do come together, it's not so much of a contention of issues. It's all, you know, a little bit better. So in terms of dealing with a difficult in-law is, you know, relying on your husband or your wife to kind of speak to them as well, like kind of set them straight. That's really important too.
2 points here. If you're living with your mother-in-law and you're the wife in the family, usually the problem arises because, you know, the mother thinks they know the son better, and then the wife feels the same way with the husband.
Yeah.
So that's where the differences come along as well. And I mean, coming back to financial issues, I know this is going to be a problem when I say it, or you might feel differently. Usually in my culture especially, we love having big weddings. And because of that, we have to now live with our parents because we spent most of our finances on this wedding.
Right.
What I would suggest is if you feel like you're going to have a problem during your marriage, have a smaller wedding. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. Smaller wedding, but have a happier marriage life.
Right.
Use that money to like buy a house. Like,
yeah,
I'm telling you, you'll live a much happier marriage life.
Right.
100%. While we're in the topic of mother-in-law, we have a question here. How does Iman communicate with my mum? So straight away off the bat, I have to admit that my mum can't speak English properly. But it's okay because I'm there to translate whatever Iman's trying to say or whatever my mom's trying to say. So, like, yeah, I'm just acting like a
translator,
a translator or interpreter. Yeah, is there anything you want to add?
I think that when it comes to communicating with your in-laws who don't speak English, it's just a matter of finding other ways to communicate. So kind of be like, you know, gesturing and, you know, using sounds and like, oh, like this food tastes yummy, like things like that. It kind of gets a little frustrating, but it's just a matter of, you know, having a different mindset and just realizing that, you know, not everyone speaks English in the whole entire world. So it's just a matter of accepting and having fun with it.
And it's okay. I mean, there was a time where I had to leave home, and at home it was just my mom and my Iman, and I left them for like, what, half an hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah, I was over at his mom's house, and he had to leave. And so it was just me and his mom. And I'm like, oh my God, how is this going to be? But we were able to sit down together, have some fruits, and we had like a cooking show on. And we were just watching that. And it was perfect. And we both had a good time.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about the Bengali culture?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Bengali culture?
The food. Was your type Asian men before you met your husband? Sorry, random. It's not random. I've been open to all cultures. You know, just as an individual, I love people. So it hasn't been something that, you know, I'm interested in just Asian men. No. I just fell in love with him, and he happened to be Bengali.
The first Bengali that you met?
I've met a Bengali person actually when we were young. But it was like not a friend of a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm your first friend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How are you tackling that? I think this is a good question. How are you tackling the languages that you're going to be teaching with the little munchkin? This is a very good question. We get asked this question a lot, from our parents, from our family, friends, everyone. And the best thing, or the answer that we tell everyone, including you guys, is Iman speaks to Celine in Arabic, and I speak to Celine in Bengali. Of course, there is a little bit of English.
At least we try to.
Yeah, of course, there is a little bit of English here and there, but yeah, I mean, her mom speaks to her in Arabic, and my mom speaks to Celine in Bengali. So yeah, that's how we're tackling it. If we had to choose one, of course, I'll pick Arabic. I know, but Arabic is the language of our religion, so of course I'll rather pick that one. But yeah, that's how we tackle it. So that's all the questions that we have. If you guys have any more questions, we're happy to answer them in the comments below or over on IG.
So if you guys have any specific questions you guys want us to make a video about, just DM me or message me and I'll get you guys that video.
And don't forget, you can DM me as well.
Yeah, you can DM him too.
He's a tech guy.
From a male perspective, why not? All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you so much. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye, guys.